looks like we're finally going to get display out for our Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro. Yes, the latest QPR beta for Android 14 allows you to do display out with your USB-C port. This is something that we've never seen before in a Pixel phone. If you wanted to be able to use your screen on something else, you had to have like a Google Chromecast or a screen share, all that garbage. And we've been wondering for the longest time, and it was even discovered early on that the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro did have the capability for display out, but they were disabled in the firmware. There's nothing you could do to unlock it. So with the latest beta, the way Google does their stuff, they do different quarterly betas that unleash new features that we get later on, either in the official release or we get it later on in the next OS update. Well, with this latest QPR update with the Android beta, you can finally do display out. So you could just plug your USB-C in, and then you could get your video out on some other screen, which is really cool. There's a lot of speculation on what might be happening with this. They might be go ahead and unlocking it so you can start using it. And then maybe when we get Android 15, there's speculation that we might get some sort of like a Samsung DeX-like feature, like a display out where you can use like a desktop feature with your phone, which I don't know. Will be interesting to see if that happens. And well, I might just have to download the beta on one of my phones. I don't normally go too much into the beta. I like to use the regular, normal, proper Android OS. And then as those features come available, usually it's in a quarterly feature drop. And I'm going to cross my fingers here and hope that it's not something that they relegate to the Pro. But I believe it's going to be for both of them. From what I've seen and what I was reading, it looks like it's available on both of them. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. But whenever it comes to the Pixel phones, this is big, because we've been asking this for forever. And it was curious because a lot of people are like, hey, the Pixel 8 supports display out. Why in the world is Google locking this behind the software so nobody can use it? So there was a lot of speculation about that. Maybe it might come out in a later quarterly feature drop. Maybe it might be because they're working on trying to improve Android's desktop capability stuff. Because when it comes to the Pixel, they really are behind in that regard. Even it's not LG, even Motorola has their own kind of desktop thing. We've seen it with the Think phone, and it's kind of rudimentary, but it's nice that it at least has it. And then when you look at what you can do and all this work that Samsung has done into the DeX capability that you get on their modern phones. Of course, you can use it on the S24 phones, all that stuff. So one small step. I kind of think we'll see this in the next quarterly feature drop. So we just got this last one for March. So that means April, May, June. Looks like June could be the time period where we see this roll out as an official release, because after that, well, we'll be looking at Android 15. So it'll be interesting to see if it happens. It'll be interesting to see if Google actually does anything with it, because it's nice to be able to plug something in and use, like, connect it to a monitor so you can watch video, you can do some of your stuff on there. But really, the biggest thing that we could gain from that is there's some way they set it up. They give us a new desktop, some sort of a desktop related client software to challenge Samsung. And I'd really like to see that, because there are nice things you can do with the Pixels, but there are areas where they are lacking, and they've given away a lot of their features, like the AI smart features. Most of those are on the Samsung phones. Those are even going to start rolling out on some of the S23 series phones, I think, even here soon. So it would be nice to see Google step it up in some other areas to try and make themselves a little bit more competitive whenever you're comparing a Google phone to, let's say, a Samsung phone or even some other manufacturers out there. So I would like to see that. I'm excited about this. I may go ahead and download the beta so I can try it out myself on one of my phones. Maybe we'll do a demo video. I don't know. If y'all want to see that, you can let me know in the comment section, and maybe I'll go that route and do that. But I am excited about this, and that's kind of what happens. A lot of things that happen in the beta, you'll see them, they'll say, oh, we've got this new feature, we got that new feature, and then maybe a quarter or the following quarter, it's something that will roll out. But because it's the Android 14 beta, that gives me hope that we're going to see this in the next feature drop. Because if it were, like, let's say the Android 15 beta, then we would know we weren't getting that on the Android 14. But since it's the Android 14 beta, this is just one of those things that they do. So I'm really excited about that. I can't wait to test it out myself once I finally get it. I do think we'll probably see it in June. And that, if I had to guess, if I were a betting man when it came to what Google does with their software features, that's what I would put my money on. So, cool stuff. Happy to see that. Happy to see that news article. And apparently I missed this. I guess it's something that came up maybe a week or two ago. But just the fact that I think that's going to be a meaningful feature. I think it's going to make a lot of people happy too, because it's something's been missing and people have complained about it for years. the phones were more and more capable, but here's the thing, everybody just kind of assumed it's because Google wanted to paywall it off and make you get a Chromecast or use something like that. They didn't want you just be able to plug it in when they could charge you more money for it. So it's kind of one of those Apple practices, I think. But anyway, I'm excited about that, looking forward to it, and let me know what you think. Is it something that you're interested in? Do you care? Do you think it's kind of a big deal? Do you think it's a nothing feature? I get so many mixed bag answers and thoughts and feelings from people because I talk about how I was disappointed with the Pixel 8, how it's not getting Gemini Nano AI on it, that it has hardware limitations. I think that's a big deal. And then a lot of people like, I don't care. I don't use any of that stuff anyway. I just use my phone to text and surf the internet. So I know there's a lot of people that don't use a lot of the features. I know there's a lot of people that don't push them to the limit when it comes to these phones and what they're capable of doing. But I missed out on this a long time. I was irritated about it for years. I pretty much gave up on it. And I saw this stuff early on when they talked about how the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro are actually capable of doing it. It was just locked by software. So we'll see. I hope it comes here in June. That would be great. I will be excited about it. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments, and we'll go from there. But I think it's a positive thing. Any new features we get with these phones is always an exciting time. And that's one thing I say about the Google Pixel phones. I know I stand kind of contrary to a lot of other folks who say that the phones get worse over time. I think they get better over time. We've seen new features pop up. We get the quarterly feature drop. There's a lot of stuff that Google does. There's a lot of optimization. Quite frankly, most phones when they come out, when they first come out, they're like 3/4 done. It's like the cake is not completely baked in the oven. So then a couple of months later, you get these improvements, you get these updates, you get these fixes. We see it with every phone. We see it with the iPhone. They had to fix the heating issues. We saw it with the S24. They've had to fix some of the camera issues. They've had to fix some of the screen stuff people are unhappy about. So that's one thing I did say a few times about the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro. I thought silently they were one of the better phone launches this year because they had so few issues that when they came out, it really highlighted the problems that were going on with Samsung. It highlighted problems that were going on with Apple. And I maintain my position that I think the Pixel phones get better over time. And it'll be curious to see what we get over time with these phones because they're supposed to be supported for 7 years. This is the first series of phones from Google that is supported for 7 years. So we'll see what that entails, but it's been pretty promising, at least for the 8 Pro. Like the 8 Pro has got a lot of new features, a lot of things that's come out since it came out. I know I've got my hang-ups with the Pixel 8, but it is exciting that we should be getting this display out hopefully later on this year, maybe a couple months from now. And hey, if you want to go get the latest beta, you can do that. Download that yourself and test it out. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, of course, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. We can have some discussion. If you enjoy the video, if you like the Pixel content, I make quite a bit of it. I do enjoy the Pixel platform. I do believe in them. I do give them a lot of harsh criticism when they make some stupid mistakes sometimes, but I think they are very viable as a platform, and I'm curious to see what we have later on this year. So hit the like, subscribe, little notification bell, all that jazz. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time.